Assalamu alaikum everyone. Today we're going to do the three-letter verbs with their past tense conjugations. The past tense in Arabic is الماضي, الماضي, and I added the romanization for it here. And الماضي comes from the verb مضي, which means he passed or it passed. And الماضي is the past. We use it for the past tense. The pattern for the past tense follows فعل, so فتحة 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 on all three letters, or فاعل, which is similar but a kasra on the middle letter. And remember that whenever we talk about the past tense, we will refer to the conjugation for the he pronoun of the past tense, because it's the only one that doesn't have additional letters, and it's the one that comes in the three-letter form. So verbs can come with a fatha on top, or with fatha on top of the middle letter, or a kasra under the middle letter. They can be in both forms. Obviously, it changes the way the verb is being used. And some verbs also have the middle letter with a dhamma. It just depends if it's appropriate for the verb or not to have that meaning, to embody the meaning. And the difference between a fatha on top of the middle letter and a kasra is verbs are actions that go out into the external world, right? They leave you, you act upon the external world. But with kasra, it's these actions that manifest within you. And let me show you an example. Here, fa'ala is he did. And usually the act of doing is doing something in the external world. You are changing the world before you. Same as kataba, he wrote, right? You're picking up a pen, you're writing knowledge on paper. So the world before you is changing. But alima is your internal world is changing because you know something you didn't know before. Your internal being is changing. And so it's an action that manifests within you. Now you know something that you didn't know. But that doesn't affect the external world, it affects your internal world. How we embody this is with the kasra on the middle letter. So let's look at the conjugations, starting with the verb to do, fa'ala. We always default to the verb to do, by the way, and so that's why I'm starting with it. أنا فعلت, فعلت. So you can see we added a ta مفتوحة or مبسوطة. So it's not a ta مربوطة, which is this, right? No, it's a ta مفتوحة. فعلت. Next is if you're addressing someone who is masculine, أنت فعلت, أنت فعلت. If the person is feminine, أنت فعلتي, أنت فعلتي. And in all three cases, what we've done is that we've added a ta مبسوطة with different accents, with different حركات, ضمة for the أنا, فتحة for the you in the masculine, and a kasra for the feminine. And then we added the sukoon on the lam for all of them. You, when addressing two people, either masculine or feminine, أنتما فعلتما. Next is we, نحن فعلنا. هو for he, him, فعل. هو فعل, he did. And you see, there are no additions, therefore it's the root conjugation that we usually default to. And it becomes a reference for the root verb. She, her, هي, فعلت. You, plural, masculine. أنتم فعلتم. You, plural, feminine. أنتن فعلتن. So we have the shadda on the noon, therefore it's فعلتن. When you're talking about two people in the masculine, هما فعلا. And as you can see, the lam extends and the alif sits on top of it. And there's a little bit of an artifact here because it kind of gets screwed up when I change the color, but it's basically this, okay? And this is how the alif sits on top of the lam if it precedes it. To talk about two people in the feminine, هما فعلتا, هما فعلتا. To talk about a bunch of people, more than two, who are masculine, or it's a mixture of genders, so it defaults back to masculine. We're going to say فعلوا, فعلوا. And they in the feminine, هن فعلنا, هن فعلنا. So it's pretty simple, it's pretty straightforward. So I'm going to leave these two for you to do, and I'm going to add the answers below. Try not to look at them, but you can refer to them if you have some trouble. See you next lesson for the present tense.